us some information in reference to the establishment of the institution of slavery in 1619 and how that institution ended in 1865 with the Civil War. Now, Alana, let's pick up from 1865 and perhaps go back a little and to talk about what we call the Bill of Rights, because I think that you've already admitted that whatever the Bill of Rights might have been, slaves did not have access to Bill of Rights. So let's talk about it from that perspective.
Now, in the first segment, we talked about how I am Alana McLaughlin, born August 27th, 2002, my background in education, and then we really got into slavery, and I made some commentary on how I thought it was wrong and that we were enslaved, but why? I mean, for what reason? And so now here in the second segment, I want to talk about the aftermath of slavery. Now, let's skip ahead a few years, say the 1940s, during segregation and bombings and etc. Now, during that era, there are many periods of time in which African Americans were harmed because of the color of our skin, and just for no reason, because by some maybe white supremacists, anybody. But why were we harmed though? Why? Because of our skin color. And I mean, what is this? What does that have to do with anything? I mean, is this a hate color? I mean, what? And so now, famous cases of that era would be like, say, the Birmingham church bombing, where some little girls were bombed inside of a church one morning, but for what? Because they were black, and the assassination of Martin Luther King and all these other famous cases that went on during that era. But they were all towards black people because some people believed that they were on a higher standard than us and that they wanted to get rid of us. And the whole fact of people wanting to get rid of other people sickens me. Like Adolf Hitler, he wanted to get rid of the Jews, so he established the Holocaust. But why did you want to get rid of them? Like, they never did anything so horrible to you that you would want to kill all of them off. Exactly. And then and there have been so many cases where other people have tried to get rid of other people. It's crazy. I mean, why can't we just all hug and love each other and, stop arguing and stop killing each other? Because nothing good is going to happen. No good will come from any situation in which harm is involved. Like, if I killed you, that wouldn't do any good for the world. That would hurt people. That would hurt me. I would be put in prison. I would be hurt. You would be dead. Your family would be devastated. Our family would be devastated. So why even go through all that? You don't even have to do all that.
And looking at all of this, how would you bring the Bill of Rights in there? What would you say is the Bill of Rights?
Well, see, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, these are the amendments that actually made a humongous change in African Americans' lives. The 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, the right to be a citizen, the right to vote, and the right to be free. Now let's focus on the right to be free. That no more bondage, no more being slaves, no more having to pick cotton, no more having to be worked around like dogs, no more of that. Because finally people started to realize that we were human too. We have hearts, we have lungs, just like you do. And so they started to realize that, hey, they are people. They deserve to be free like we are. And so that's why they established those three amendments. And now the right to vote. For black people, that made just a humongous effect on everybody, because that people actually got to choose which president they wanted, and that's like really special to some people now. But just think, what if we didn't have the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment? What if we didn't have freedom? Then we would just be, I wouldn't be here right now. I would be picking cotton right now, maybe even dead. But we never know. But then, so that's why people actually started to realize that we were human and that we deserved to be treated like humans, to have the same rights that Caucasian people do and that other people do, because we're all human. And I'm sorry that I'm repeating this, but I'm just trying to get my point across. We are human. We will always be human.
Well, how did the Bill of Rights fit into this freedom of speech and freedom of religion? Remember, you talked about, in one instance, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. They played a real important part in terms of bringing humanity in a real sense to not only Africans but to everybody, but at the same time they were some things that Africans did not enjoy, the religious freedom. What would you say about religious freedom? The first religion, freedom of religion, speech and all of that.
Now, the Bill of Rights, it expands, it basically breaks down those 13, 14, 15 amendments. Now, the Bill of Rights, it tells us that it established the fact that we can be free. It basically describes the 13, 14, 15 amendment. It says we can have the right to religion. I could be a Christian or atheist or a Jehovah's Witness if I wanted to, because of the Bill of Rights. And I could walk around saying whatever, not whatever, because of the fact that it would be rude, but saying pleasant things that I have on my mind because of the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. I mean, because it gave me the right to say if I don't like the color red, then I get to say that I don't like the color red. I don't have to suffer through wearing a red dress and red hair and red shoes and red eyelashes and red eyes or anything because I don't like the color red. And I just get to say what I want to feel, and I get to praise who I want to praise, and I get to do the things that I have the right to do. Like, I can't just go around shooting anybody, but I can have an education, and I could join a debate team. I could join a step team. I could basically do that. And I kind of want to go back to this religion subject, because this is a very controversial, well, you know what I mean. It's a very tough subject to kind of get across to people. Now, some parents say that we should have prayer in schools, and some others, but we'll get to that in our third segment. Okay, but yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to be talking about in the third segment, but also I really want to put across how I want to really emphasize religion.
Okay, very good. And of course, what we'll do, we'll pick up on religion when we come back doing this third and final segment, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.